As the president of GreenDream Enterprises, it's Steve Rypka's business to enlighten people about renewable energy resources. And when he teaches one of his solar living classes at the Springs Preserve, he also takes pleasure in being a shining example of someone who is personally achieving environmental sustainability.
One of my green dreams is to have Las Vegas be a truly sustainable society here, that we're self-contained, we're handling our water resources responsibly, we're harvesting renewable energy every day, and have this be a different community.
For the last decade, Steve and his wife have been learning to tread lightly when it comes to their carbon footprint.
And if I go back to the year 2000, is when we got our first hybrid car, a Toyota Prius. And from that point until now, we have reduced our carbon emissions about 75%. And it's a combination of renewable energy, energy efficiency, the home, the cars, diet, travel, all of those things kind of come together. It's been a gradual change, but it's been very effective.
The experience has made him an active advocate of using passive solar energy to warm, cool, and illuminate almost any home economically.
We actually show people how to use those techniques, not to build a house, but just to pick out a house when they're shopping. And I've done that for the last 3 homes that we've purchased here in the valley, and with great success.
His current home is a showplace for solar living precisely because it blends in with every other house in the neighborhood.
I've had people come here thinking they were going to interview the guy in the solar house and drive up and down the street looking for the solar house and couldn't find it. They had to call me and say, "Which house is yours?" I figured I'd be able to see it. And it looks just like any other house. And so that's the good news, is that we don't have to change drastically what we're doing to be much more efficient.
Steve believes that potential homebuyers can accomplish a lot just by keeping sunrise, sunset, and seasonal changes in mind when they're shopping.
An east-west street is probably better than one that runs north-south, where you'd have your house facing that hot afternoon sun, for example. But in the northern hemisphere, the sun tends to be toward the southern part of the sky, especially in the winter, and so orienting most of your windows to the south can be a large advantage.
By installing off-the-shelf solar tubes, Steve has brightened up the darker interior rooms of his house with reflected outdoor light that's electricity-free, just as effective, and even more pleasing.
It's natural light, it feels great, it's healthy. When the clouds move by, it gets a little shadier. You feel more connected to the natural world.
When it comes to plugging into the sun, Steve's choice of a plain old south-facing roof is perfect for an array of photovoltaic panels.
This roof is flat. It's got a flat surface that all points in the same direction, and it doesn't have the peaks and the valleys and the interesting architectural details that a lot of homes have. And that's a good thing when you're trying to do a solar system like this. The hardest thing about operating this system is I have to get up every morning and make sure the sun rises.
Everything after that is just as easy and inexpensive.
Our electrical cost is $0 every month for the life of the house now. We pay the customer service charge that everybody pays on their power bill. That's $8.
A small investment considering how much energy Steve and his wife are actually banking thanks to their own solar system.
On a day like today, 90% of our electricity is being sent to the grid right now. And so literally our meter is spinning backwards. And we're getting credit for that to use at a future date.
When that day comes, SunPower will be running their lives at home as well as on the road.
When we convert our vehicles to plug-in hybrids, we'll be driving on solar energy.
And spreading the message that loving the sun is a wonderful way to live lightly on the earth.